Whether you're a die-hard fan of the Fast and Furious franchise or simply stumbled upon one of the movies while channel surfing, it's nearly impossible not to have heard of it. Similarly, Paul Walker and the heartbreaking circumstances of his passing are widely known. His departure from this world came far too soon, and it's unanimous that the Fast and Furious series feels incomplete without him. However, the impact of his loss was most profoundly felt by his family, particularly his daughter Meadow. Recently, she disclosed new insights into the events surrounding Paul's death. So, what really happened? On November 28, 2013, Paul Walker took to Twitter to extend warm Thanksgiving wishes to his followers. It was a moment of gratitude for the actor whose career was soaring. The sixth installment of the Fast and Furious franchise, in which he played a central role, had shattered box office records, marking another triumph in his cinematic journey. Additionally, Walker was stepping into the realm of film production, broadening his creative horizons. However, just 2 days later, on November 30th, tragedy struck. Paul Walker's life came to a sudden and devastating end in a car accident at the age of only 40. Beyond his on-screen persona, Walker was known for his philanthropic endeavors. That fateful day, he had dedicated his time to a toy drive event organized by his disaster relief charity, Reach Out Worldwide. Founded in response to the 2010 earthquake in Haiti, the organization was a testament to Walker's commitment to helping those in need. Departing from the event around 3:30 p.m., Walker was in good spirits, never suspecting it would be his final farewell. Much like the character he portrayed in the Fast and Furious series, Brian O'Connor, Paul Walker was drawn to the adrenaline rush of high-speed cars. In a poignant twist of fate, the charity event was held at a high-performance car shop in Santa Clarita, California, co-owned by Walker and his close friend Roger Rodas. The purpose of the event was to lend support to the survivors of Typhoon Haiyan in the Philippines, showcasing Walker's deep compassion and commitment to humanitarian causes. The pair left the event in a 2005 Porsche Carrera GT, with Rodas driving and Walker riding shotgun. The car, renowned for its challenging handling, navigated only a few hundred yards from the shop before Rodas lost control. Accelerating at approximately 100 miles per hour, the Porsche careened off course, colliding with a curb, a tree, and a light post before crashing into another tree and erupting into flames. The commotion drew immediate attention from those attending the charity event, including Rodas's young son. As Paul Walker's friend Antonio Holmes vividly recalled, the scene was nothing short of horrific, marking one of Hollywood's most tragic crashes. Holmes lamented, "It was engulfed in flames. There was nothing. They were trapped. Employees, friends of the shop. We tried. We went through fire extinguishers." Tragically, both Roger Rodas and Paul Walker perished in the fiery wreckage, leaving their friends and colleagues stunned and helpless. News of Walker's untimely demise rippled across the globe within hours, sending shockwaves through his fan base. This is the full story of Paul Walker's car crash and his tragic death long before his time. The Fast and Furious Rise of Paul Walker. Born on September 12, 1973, in Glendale, California, Paul William Walker IV's journey began amidst the sunny landscapes of Southern California. His upbringing was one of relative privilege, with his mother, Cheryl Crabtree Walker, a former model, and his father, Paul William Walker III, a former amateur boxer, providing a nurturing environment for their family of 5 children, with Paul being the eldest. Walker's early foray into the entertainment industry commenced at the tender age of 2 when he landed his first commercial for Pampers, marking the inception of what would become a burgeoning career. As he traversed through middle and high school, Walker continued to pursue acting opportunities, securing minor roles in television shows such as Highway to Heaven and Charles in Charge. Upon graduating from Village Christian School in Sun Valley, California, in 1991, Walker's aspirations in the film industry began to take shape, albeit slowly. It wasn't until the latter half of the decade that his career gained momentum, with directors recognizing his talent and casting him in notably Hollywood productions such as Pleasantville in 1998 and Varsity Blues and Shays All That in 1999. However, it was in 2001 that Walker catapulted to international fame with his role as an undercover cop in The Fast and the Furious. The adrenaline-fueled franchise would become synonymous with Walker's name, solidifying his status as a leading figure in Hollywood's action genre. Based on Kenneth Lee's 1998 Vibe magazine article titled Racer X, The Fast and the Furious delved into the gritty world of illegal drag racing and the criminal underworld that surrounded it. In this adrenaline-fueled narrative, Walker starred alongside action film icon Vin Diesel, their characters quickly becoming cult favorites among audiences. Notably, the chemistry between Walker and Diesel on screen transcended into a genuine off-screen friendship. Initially perceived as a risky venture, The Fast and the Furious laid the foundation for what would evolve into a record-breaking multi-billion-dollar franchise. For Walker, it was a dream come true. Beyond his success on the silver screen, he found joy in fatherhood, welcoming his daughter Meadow Walker with his girlfriend Rebecca McBrain. In his leisure time, Walker indulged in his passions for racing, surfing, and engaging in philanthropic endeavors through his charity work. However, amidst the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, the idyllic times were destined to be short-lived. Inside, Paul Walker's car accident. On November 30th, 2013, Paul Walker had planned to spend quality time with his family. Engrossed in discussions about purchasing a Christmas tree with his mother Cheryl and his 15-year-old daughter Meadow, the day seemed ordinary until a sudden realization interrupted their conversation. "We were having this good conversation, and he'd forgotten about an event he had," Cheryl Walker later recounted. "He got a text and said, 'Oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be somewhere.'" Despite the minor hiccup, the gathering proceeded as planned. However, tragedy struck later that day. Around 3:30 p.m., Walker and Rodas, caught up in the thrill of the moment, decided to take the Porsche Carrera GT for a test run. Their destination, a popular drifting curve located in the Valencia neighborhood of Santa Clarita, situated within an office park. Both the 38-year-old driver, Roger Rodas, and his famous passenger, Paul Walker, adhered to safety protocols by wearing seatbelts during their fateful ride. Unfortunately, these precautions proved futile once the car collided with a curb, causing the driver's side to strike a tree and a light post. The impact sent the vehicle into a spin, with the passenger side crashing into another tree before igniting into flames. The harrowing scene unfolded before the eyes of countless horrified bystanders who could only watch helplessly as the once sleek sports car transformed into a blazing inferno. Amidst the chaos, Rodas's young son arrived at the scene in a state of shock, initially unaware that the engulfed vehicle was the very one his father had been driving just moments before, until he recognized its model. Witnesses scrambled to aid the trapped occupants, with shop employees desperately attempting to extract them from the wreckage. However, their efforts were thwarted by the ferocity of the flames, forcing them to retreat and bear witness to the tragedy unfolding before them. Ultimately, Paul Walker's body was consumed by the fire, leaving him unrecognizable and requiring identification through dental records. How did Paul Walker die? An exhaustive investigation conducted by the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department into the circumstances surrounding Paul Walker's tragic demise concluded that the excessive speed of the vehicle played a pivotal role. Initially, estimates from the department suggested that the Porsche Carrera GT was traveling at speeds ranging between 80 and 93 miles per hour at the time of the crash. Subsequent analysis in the coroner's report later confirmed that the car was actually traveling at approximately 100 miles per hour. According to the report's findings, for an unknown reason, the driver lost control of the vehicle, and the vehicle partially spun around and began to travel in a southeasterly direction. The vehicle then struck a sidewalk, and the driver's side collided with a tree and a light post. The force of these collisions caused the vehicle to spin 180 degrees, continuing to travel in an easterly direction. The passenger side of the vehicle then struck a tree, igniting into flames. The question of how Paul Walker met his untimely demise was addressed in the report, attributing his cause of death to traumatic and thermal injuries, while Roger Rodas succumbed to traumatic injuries. Remarkably, toxicology screenings conducted post-mortem yielded no evidence of drugs or alcohol in either individual's system. In 2015, Meadow Walker, Paul's daughter, initiated legal action by filing a wrongful death lawsuit, pointing to design flaws in Porsche's Carrera GT as the underlying cause of the accident. Meadow's attorney, Jeff Milam, underscored the gravity of the situation, asserting, "The bottom line is that the Porsche Carrera GT is a dangerous car. It doesn't belong on the street, and we shouldn't be without Paul Walker or his friend Roger Rodas." Further investigation conducted into the circumstances surrounding Paul Walker's tragic passing yielded significant revelations. A meticulous analysis concluded that there were no pre-existing conditions that would have caused this collision, placing blame on worn-out tires and the unsafe speeds at which the car was traveling. The autopsy report highlighted that both airbags had deployed as intended, with Roger Rodas succumbing to severe blunt head, neck, and chest trauma. Delving deeper into the specifics of Paul Walker's injuries, the autopsy revealed fractures in various parts of his body, including the left jawbone, collarbone, pelvis, ribs, and spine. Additionally, traces of scant soot were discovered in his trachea, shedding further light on the circumstances surrounding his death. In response to the tragedy, Porsche asserted that the car had undergone unauthorized modifications and alterations, which they deemed responsible for the accident. However, Meadow Walker, Paul's daughter, pursued legal action against the automotive manufacturer, leading to a settlement 2 years later, the details of which were kept confidential. Meanwhile, the site of the crash transformed into a pilgrimage site for grieving fans, who left heartfelt tributes to the beloved actor. In light of Paul Walker's untimely demise during the production of Furious 7, Universal Pictures announced a temporary hiatus to consult with his family before resuming filming. Following Paul Walker's cremation and interment at Forest Lawn Memorial Park, his brother Cody stepped in to assist the Furious 7 crew in completing the filming process. Bearing a striking resemblance to his late brother, Cody not only provided a physical likeness but also felt a profound sense of indebtedness to Paul. "My love for cars, my love for travel, it's all from him, and I miss him," shared Cody Walker. "I miss him every day." Paul Walker's character lives on. Despite Paul Walker's passing, his iconic character, Brian O'Connor, remains an integral part of the Fast and Furious film franchise. Vin Diesel, who portrays Dominic Toretto, has assured fans that O'Connor's story will receive a fitting and proper conclusion as the series draws to a close. In a heartfelt tribute to Walker's legacy, director Louis Leterrier featured Paul's daughter Meadow in a significant cameo role in the latest installment, Fast X. Meadow's character, a flight attendant, plays a pivotal role in assisting Dom and his crew midway through the film. Following the release of Fast X, Universal Pictures announced plans for Fast X, Part 2, which will continue the storyline from the previous sequel. The upcoming film will once again feature Vin Diesel alongside Jason Momoa, praised for his portrayal of the formidable antagonist Dante Reyes in Fast X. Additionally, Dwayne Johnson made a surprising return as the no-nonsense lawman Luke Hobbs in Fast X, marking his comeback after reconciling with Diesel following their highly publicized feud following the fate of the Furious. Johnson has since announced a spin-off film centered around the character of Hobbs, set to bridge the gap between the previous films and the upcoming sequels. Vin Diesel has revealed his intention to conclude the Fast and Furious franchise with a closing trilogy, a commitment he reaffirmed during the premiere of Fast X in Rome in May. Since its inception in 2001, the Fast and Furious film series has achieved remarkable success, grossing over $7 billion and solidifying its position as Universal's highest-grossing franchise. Meadow Walker was involved in intense custody and inheritance battle after Paul Walker's death. Following the tragic passing of Paul Walker, legal battles ensued over the custody and inheritance of his daughter, Meadow Walker. Initially, Paul's mother, Cheryl Walker, sought custody, expressing concerns about Meadow's mother, Rebecca Soteros, and her alleged struggles with alcohol. Cheryl argued that Soteros's reported alcoholism rendered her unfit to care for her granddaughter, aligning with Paul's expressed preference for his mother to look after Meadow in his will. Soteros's past encounters with DUIs in 2003 and 2013 came under scrutiny during the custody dispute, garnering media attention. However, an insider contradicted these allegations, asserting that Soteros was a loving and competent mother who had always provided well for her daughter. Eventually, a custody agreement was reached, granting Meadow the opportunity to reside with her mother. Cheryl Walker ultimately withdrew her bid for custody. Public interest also focused on Meadow Walker's inheritance, initially prompting Soteros to claim a portion of Paul's estate. However, it was later confirmed that Meadow would be the sole beneficiary. Throughout the legal proceedings, the family's primary concern remained Meadow's well-being, a sentiment echoed by Paul's brother, Cody Walker, who expressed satisfaction with the resolution of the inheritance matter. According to reports from People magazine, Meadow eventually became the sole beneficiary of her father's $25 million estate. Additionally, she received a $10.1 million settlement from the estate of Roger Rodas, who was involved in the accident, as part of a wrongful death lawsuit settlement with Porsche. Meadow Walker honors Paul Walker's legacy through his foundation and Fast and Furious films. In September 2015, Meadow Walker honored her late father, Paul Walker, on what would have been his 42nd birthday with a touching tribute. She announced the establishment of the Paul Walker Foundation, a charitable organization aimed at empowering youth and advocating for environmental causes, particularly ocean conservation, a cause close to her father's heart. Taking to Instagram, Walker shared her heartfelt sentiments behind founding the foundation, accompanied by a poignant throwback photo of herself and her father. Reflecting on my father, I found myself reflecting on his passions. I wanted to start this foundation because I want to share that piece of him with the world. I want to share that part of him with others, she expressed. In June 2022, Walker unveiled the PWF Do Good Scholarship, an initiative designed to support a deserving student committed to addressing critical community or environmental needs. This scholarship further underscores the Foundation's dedication to nurturing young leaders and fostering positive change in society. In addition to her philanthropic initiatives, Meadow Walker also made a notable appearance in the highly anticipated final chapter of the iconic Fast and Furious series, Fast X, which premiered on May 19, 2023. Reflecting on her experience, Meadow expressed profound gratitude for the opportunity to follow in her father's footsteps and be part of the franchise that had been integral to her upbringing. The first Fast was released when I was 1 year old. I grew up on set watching my father, Vin, Jordana, Michelle, Chris, and more on the monitors. Thanks to my dad, I was born into a Fast family. I can't believe now I get to be up there too, with those who have been around to see me grow up, she shared. Her involvement in Fast X garnered widespread admiration from the Fast and Furious stars, including Vin Diesel, Michelle Rodriguez, and Jordana Brewster. They were deeply moved by Meadow's commitment to honoring her father's legacy and continuing his life's work. Meadow's dedication and hard work on set served as a source of inspiration to them, further cementing the enduring bond that Paul Walker shares with the franchise. Paul Walker's daughter Meadow Walker gets married, and Vin Diesel walks her down the aisle. In a heartwarming display of familial support, Meadow Walker, daughter of the late Paul Walker, received unwavering encouragement from her Fast and the Furious co-stars Vin Diesel and Jordana Brewster at her recent wedding. The 22-year-old model joyfully announced her marriage to Lewis Thornton Allen on October 22, 2023, via Instagram, sharing a touching compilation video capturing moments from their special day. In the footage, Meadow embraces Brewster, 41, who tenderly admires the bride's gown and veil, offering comforting gestures as she rubs her back. Meadow also shares a heartfelt exchange with Diesel, her godfather, leaning her head affectionately on his shoulder. Later, Diesel, 54, is seen standing beside a vintage car while the newlyweds bask in the moment inside. Diesel proudly escorted Meadow down the aisle during the ceremony, stepping into the role in place of her beloved late father. Speculation surrounding Meadow's engagement surfaced in August when she showcased a dazzling diamond ring in an Instagram video. Subsequently, on October 11th, she posted a photo alongside Thornton Allen, both donning what appeared to be matching wedding bands captioned, "Best Friend." The couple first made their relationship public in July, when Meadow shared a cozy photo of them lounging together on a couch. Since her father's tragic passing in a car accident in November 2013 at the age of 40, Meadow has maintained close ties with his Fast and Furious co-stars. Paul, who portrayed Brian O'Connor in the films, made his final appearance in the franchise in 2015's Furious 7, which was still in production at the time of his death. Diesel portrays Brian's loyal friend, Dominic Toretto, while Brewster stars as his girlfriend, Mia Toretto. Meadow has found solace and support in Diesel, often turning to him during difficult times. She counts Vin and his kids as family and will talk to them on days she's struggling, and she has their backs too, a source exclusively told us in June. Despite forging strong bonds within the Fast and Furious family, Meadow remains deeply connected to her father's memory. Meadow is so proud of her dad and goes out of her way to respond to people who send letters or express their love of him and his work, the insider revealed. She posts tributes to him on social media, keeps in touch with the people who were important in his life, and generally acts on the advice he gave her whilst he was still alive. Meadow believes that her father watches over her from above, providing comfort and protection from heaven's embrace. As we celebrate Meadow Walker's joyous milestone and continue to honor the memory of her beloved father, Paul Walker, let us reflect on the enduring legacy he left behind. From his iconic roles on screen to his philanthropic endeavors off-screen, Paul's spirit lives on in the hearts of his fans worldwide. What are your fondest memories of Paul Walker's contributions to the Fast and the Furious franchise? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on Meadow Walker's journey and exclusive insights into Paul Walker's remarkable life. Thanks for joining us. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.